All right, everybody. So this video is going to talk to you guys a little bit about the last and final project that you have for the year. This is a 30-point assignment, just like your essay is a 30-point assignment in that project category. So this is worth big points towards your grade, but it's designed to be something that's both easy and fun. So I'm going to go over the requirements with you and make sure you understand what you need to complete it. So this is for our Poetry Cafe next week when we come together in class. It'll be our last class that we're actually doing classwork. We will be having our Poetry Cafe. And you will be presenting to your peers some sort of poetry. And I'm going to go over what that's going to look like. But I do want to make sure you guys are clear that just like when we did Story Slam, everybody's going to be presenting, no matter what. So even if you show up without a poem to share, you're still going to have one of mine I will give you to read. But that's only going to be for half credit. So, show up with your own. You all have done at least one this year. We've been writing several. You've done a bad poetry, opposite point of view poetry, persuasive passion poetry, crazy creature poem. You have several that you can choose from. And all you have to do is basically kind of fancy it up a little bit and then present it and share it. Otherwise, like I said, I will have one of mine ready to go for you and you can read it, but it won't be worth as many points towards your grade. So it's definitely better for you to come prepared with your own. So that being said, how do you go about doing that? Well, you have two options. Again, as I already said, you can choose one of the ones you've already done, your favorite or the one you think you did the best on, whichever you'd like. And you can choose one of those to present. Or if you don't like one of the ones you did and you want to write a new one, you're welcome to do that as well. It is not mandatory to write a new one. That is just an option. Just understand that if you do choose to write something new, it has to fit the same kind of format that we've had with at least 8 lines possible, or 8 lines total. And it also needs to for sure be written by you. So 8 lines minimum written by you, and making sure that it's not just like copied and pasted from someplace else. So those are kind of your options. So you can pick one you've already done or you can write a new one. And then for full points, all you have to do is use the presentation that I put for you on Google Classroom. It's this Google Slides presentation to complete your poem. And you're basically just going to take your poem and put it on there and put some pictures and things like that over the course of several slides. And then you're going to present it in class. When we come together next week, you're just going to read it. That's all you're going to do is hit present and you're going to read it. And that's how you'll get your points. So super easy way to get some points. And then if you want to, if you feel like challenging yourself for extra credit points, you're welcome to kind of go above and beyond that basic presentation and do something more creative. Like you could create a video, or you could do some sort of dramatic interpretation. We had some people last quarter who did a rap or a song. They sang theirs or rapped it. So there are lots of different things, ideas that you can come up with if you want to do something kind of outside the box to get some extra credit points. Just understand that regardless, there still has to be a verbal aspect to it. So you have to read it, or you have to put a voiceover on your video, or like I said, you have to rap it or sing it. It can't just be visual. We do have to hear your voice in some way, shape, or form. And again, just a reminder, this is worth project points. So this is a chance to really either help your grade or solidify your grade. So you want to make sure you're doing your very best on this. So that being said, I'm going to just scroll through this to show you. The rest of the slideshow is basically just examples that I put on here that you are welcome to look at on your own time to give you some ideas and hopefully kind of jumpstart you on maybe getting some help on what you might want to do. So first off, the first sets of slides, these are examples of full credit projects. So these are people who did the basic slideshow with the pictures and got full points for it. So this first one, if you look at it, I'm not going to read them to you, but I'm just going to kind of click through them. This is a crazy creature poem. So as I click through it, you will see all he did is for each line of his poem, he created a slide and then put a picture on it. And he just does that for each slide. So he goes through, that's his second line. This is his third line, fourth line, his fifth line, sixth line, seventh line. And then he went above and beyond. This was only supposed to be 8 lines, but he went a little bit farther. But you'll see each one of them has pictures and GIFs and things like that on it. So that's kind of what I'm looking for the basic requirement is you need to have multiple slides, a minimum of 4 slides. And then you need to have pictures, GIFs, kind of fancy it up. So this is one example. This is somebody who did their crazy creature poem. If you look at the next example, this one is a bad poetry. There's a couple bad poetry examples on here. So you'll see hers kind of follows the same format, So it's over the course of multiple slides. She kind of split up her lines, and then she put pictures and GIFs as well as she went line by line. Well, you'll notice she actually also kind of changed her formatting and her fonts and everything, so she fancied it up a little bit more. This is her bad poetry. And then here's another bad poetry example, and this one I love. I wanted to include it on here because it shows you how you can take something very short and simple and still make it look really cool. So he still put some effort into creating this. So this was his bad poetry, and this one I'll read because it's short. So it says, "I don't know how to do poetry at all. Thank you for your time." Super short, super sweet. That was his bad poetry, but the way that he split it up on the slides and put all the different pictures with it, I thought was really clever how that turned out. So that's another example. And then lastly, this one's a more extensive example. This one was her persuasive passion poetry, and you'll see this one's a lot longer, but I wanted to for you guys to see one that kind of went even a little bit extra in terms of what they chose to do. So she split it up with looks like about 2 lines per slide, but also sometimes there's 3 or 4 lines per slide. You kind of get to pick and choose like that. And then she's got pictures on the slides. She changed the background. She's got some GIFs, pictures on this one. She got some little cartoons and things and put them on there. Same here, some memes, some quotes that she found that she thought fit with her poem. More quotes on this one as well. Here as well. You can see all of the different kind of cool, creative, unique things that she added to her slides beyond just the words for her poem. And like I said, this is a longer example because she wrote a longer poem. So those are some of the examples, varying different degrees of examples of what it looks like to do this presentation and get the full points. And so, you know, there are some longer ones, some shorter ones. Again, look through them on your own time to kind of get some ideas. But this is kind of what I'm looking for is something similar to these if you just want to do this straight presentation and get your points. If you are looking to do something a little bit more outside the box, the next sets of slides have a couple different examples from your classmates from last quarter that are some things that they did to get some extra credit points. So this one right here, this was her bad poem, and it's a video. So I encourage you to watch the video. It's really well done. And the name of the program that she chose to use is Power Director, and these are her animations. So she actually animated this, and like she drew all the animations, and then she recorded herself a voiceover and made the video. It's super cool, super well done. Definitely was worth the extra credit. So I encourage you to watch that one. This one is a rap actually. She took her poem and put it to Eminem's song Slim Shady, but she changed her own lyrics. So if you go to the second slide, this is actually the video recording from when she performed this in class. So if you'd like to watch that, I really encourage you. This one turned out really cool too. It was very neat. I was very impressed. So that one was another extra credit example as well. And if you click through, you can see on these slides, you can see what her lyrics were. So I kind of include those on there if you'd like to look at those as well. Those are the lyrics that she actually rapped, which is pretty cool. She made it kind of a positive thing. Uplifting message is what she turned it into. And then she even included this. This is something extra, which I didn't include in the video, but she did this whole talk on how to have confidence because that's what her poem was about. And this was a poem that she wrote on her own. So this is not one of the ones that we did in class. This was just something that she chose to write a new poem because she wanted to do something different. And so that's what she chose to do. So I wanted to show you guys an example of that. So these are both excellent examples of people who chose to kind of do something outside the box for extra credit. And then lastly, I didn't have anybody this quarter who sang their poem, so I found this video and added it on there. But if you watch this, this will give you an idea of how you can maybe go about doing that as well. So those are just some of the ideas of how you could do extra credit. If you have a different idea, you're welcome to reach out to me. Let me know, send me an email, talk to me, and we can discuss it if you think you have something else in mind that you think you would like to do. But that's pretty much it, you guys. So I encourage you to have fun with this. This is meant to be something, like I said, that should be easy, and it also should be fun. And I look forward to hearing these next week. When we did the Poetry Cafe last quarter, we had a blast with this. And so I just cannot wait to see what you guys create.